on the importance of new methodologies in history teaching, and a few other things. The Joint History Project, backed by hundreds of historians, advocates for an approach to history that is new in method, not in content. What exactly does that mean, and how are GHP books distinct from other history books? The main difference, first and foremost, is in the approach to historical facts. This does not mean that established historical facts can be changed. Rather, our understanding of historical events can be enriched by including different perspectives, which ultimately lead us to a more complete historical truth. This means that the same things can be learned in new ways, from multiple perspectives, with more context, and, of course, more understanding. For example, schools expectedly focus on national histories. This does not mean, however, that they should be viewed in isolation from global or European history. For example, schools expectedly focus on national histories. This does not mean, however, that they should be viewed in isolation from global or European history. The development of the Balkans and Southeast Europe is in no way different or more specific, but is directly interdependent with other historical events. Without fitting national history into a broader framework, many events remain insufficiently clear. National history should also not be taught in a nationalist way, by placing one people above others, especially when it comes to neighboring peoples, or by representing events from an ethnocentric point of view, as this only deepens misunderstanding. Things should not be represented as idyllic. The history of this region is full of divisions and conflicts that have different interpretations, just as it is full of common, unifying elements. In order to understand events more clearly and completely, it is important to remember that each of us, and therefore every individual in history, has several different identities that can be complemented. For example, one has a male or female identity, then their local identity, depending on where they were born, then other identities belonging to different groups. History is not a science that should be learned by heart. History teaching is also there to develop critical thinking. To achieve this, it is necessary to include multiple versions of the same event, or different perspectives. The very fact that there are multiple testimonies about the same events tells us that historical truth is much more complex than just one perspective, ours. And finally, the ultimate goal of modern history teaching should be enabling students to evaluate an action and make moral judgments. Developing critical thinking does not mean just developing suspicion towards something. It means building a system of moral values which are universally applicable. Only in this way does one become truly educated and immune to manipulation. JHP books are additional educational materials that may be downloaded from our website at jointhistory.net.